Hello, everyone, and welcome to another webinar by the 4 a.m. Piece, organized by its time. And since this is a webinar, it's global, so I would like to welcome people who are in different parts of the world by saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening where I am, and most of you are, and just those who are awake with us till the last hour before you sleep. I will say good night to you later at the end. So thanks for joining all of you. And before I begin, let me just use a quote, which is it says that anything is possible when you have inner peace. This is told by Master Shifu to Po from Kung Fu Panda, one of my favorite movies. And I am Piyush Ahuja. I'm currently based in Dubai and I work as an entrepreneur. Now, if you ask me the 4 a.m., I have been a meditator since the age of 19. And so it's been a long journey. But the 4 a.m. for me also took time to get used to it. But today, the 4 a.m. meditation for me is something like my first cup of tea. Before I have my cup of tea, I do the 4 a.m. And it's then I have my tea. And believe me, I know many of my friends, or at least a couple of them, who are really so strong that they start their day by 4 a.m. They do their spiritual practices. They even do their workouts, and by 8 or 8:30, they've had their juices or breakfast, and they have lived half of their day. And so it's really true that the earlier you start, the more you have time to achieve a lot in the day. And there are some of my friends who say that, Piyush, it's very easy for you to say because you're an entrepreneur that you have enough time in the day. But today I tell everyone that never say that you don't have time because time is really running out from our hands. We can all see what's happening out there in the world. So most of us are now working from home. So this is the best time to make the most use of this 4 a.m. And so just connect in silence at 4 a.m. and feel the inner peace. Because you know why? You don't need hours to meditate and attain inner peace. You just need to really see, feel, and act from your heart. And it's that one spark is that which will start your day really beautifully, is that inner peace when you start at 4. So before I take more of your time, today we have an international speaker, and she's Trish Summerfield. She's all the way from Southeast Asia, Vietnam. Now, to tell you about Trish, well, she's a multi personality, because she's an international speaker, she's a TV presenter, and also she's an author. And she has been the director of values education program in Vietnam until 2015, where she's done a lot of workshops and trainings for educators, psychiatrists, university schools, all over the world. You could say a lot of countries. And then she's also been a writer and presenter on Vietnamese television for awakening values, and author. She's written 3 books, as you can see in her invitation that she's written 3 books, and I'm sure she will keep writing more. And to tell you more about really about Trish, what I know about her is that she's also been a meditator since the age of 19, and it's been a long journey for her where she started. And today, it's been 35 years for her. That's not a small thing. 35 years she's been a meditator. And what I came to know, Trish, is that you started with Buddhist meditation, and then you went to India, and then you practiced with different ashrams until you have now finally settled down with Raja Yoga meditation. Am I right?
Exactly. Thank you, Palash. Exactly. Very
Thanks.
succinct.
So, Trish, before we begin, I just want to ask you: is it true these meditators they have a special glow on their face, which I normally heard? Is that true?
I'm looking at you and you have a glow, so I think it must be true. No, I do feel that. I think you can normally pick a meditator. There is that glow from the inside out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great. Thanks joining for us, Trish. And again, to all those who have just joined us, welcome. We have Trish Summerfield, and today she'll be speaking on 5 steps to meditating. And it's a 4 a.m. Peace webinar. So over to you, Trish, for the next
Thank,
few minutes. Thanks a lot.
thank you so much, Palash. Thank you. And it's just really my honor to be with all of you this evening. Really my honor. And I find it so beautiful that you are taking an interest in 4 a.m. meditation. I think that is so special. So special. It's very, very beautiful. And tonight or this morning or whatever it might be in your time frame, what I would like to do is walk you through 4 steps, 5 steps, in fact. And rather than just talking about it, because we know in education that if we just talk, it stays at the level of the mind, and quite often it also slips out. So what I'd like to do is really invite you to experience those 5 steps. And the first one sounds very simple: relax. The step to relax. And sometimes I think that sounds so basic, but if you just now become aware of your physical body, just aware perhaps from the feet, the legs up, stomach, chest, head, arms, just be aware. Are you holding any tension in your body? Just become present with the awareness of your body. And very often what we find is unconsciously, there'll be some part of the body where we are holding tension. And I don't know about you, but often the favorite spots are the stomach muscles, or the neck and shoulders. And so the first step of relax is just to simply scan the body from the feet up. Can we do that now? The feet, the legs, stomach, chest, shoulders, arms, neck, and just allow all the muscles in the body to relax. And the next aspect is the breath. And again, this should be something very natural. But what I find is the majority of people nowadays do not breathe in the way that we were born to breathe, in the way that we used to breathe when we were a baby. And so that way that we used to breathe, and correct breathing, is that when we take the air in, we fill the lower lungs and the stomach with air. And so the chest muscles, the upper body does not move up. So I'd like you just to do that now, maybe 3 times, and pay attention to take the air right down and fill your tummy, make your tummy expand. And that means you're absolutely getting the air into your lungs, your lower lungs where you need it. And out. Again, in your own time, in and out. And if when you do look at that breathing, if you find that you are doing the opposite, you're not taking the air into your stomach, instead you're raising your body when you inhale, that simply means that you are shallow breathing. And so you won't get enough air down into your lower lungs, and you'll get the wrong balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide. And that means sometimes you can even feel that you're short of breath or feel sleepy. So the breath, filling the lungs with air. And so again, that's the first step: physical body relax and breathing correctly and deeply. And then we move into the second step. And that is simply concentrate. Concentrate. And again, that should be easy. But if you look at the world nowadays, how often is concentration difficult? And even in terms of marketing and advertising, they're aware that we have a very short concentration span, and so they're putting their ads on shorter and shorter time frames. And so concentrate. And I'd like us to do a little exercise. And I think many of you are at home at the moment. I think I'd be right. You're probably in a room. And I imagine that room might have a window. So in order to introduce concentration, and also because, as you know, this practice of meditation is one we do with our eyes open, I'd like you to, wherever you're sitting in your room, to simply look out the window. Can you do that? It might be in front of you. You might have to turn around a little bit. But if you can, look out the window. So you're inside your house or you're inside your office. Thank you. Thank you, Ashok Bhai, for confirming you're looking out the window. So you're looking out the window. Now you can, if it's light, you can see the weather outside, but you've got a sense of the weather. Sunny, raining, hot, cold. And yet you are inside. So do you feel the weather outside? You can see it, but do you feel the heat or the cold? No, right? Why? Why not? Right, exactly. You don't feel it because you're inside, you're protected, you're safe. And even if it started to rain and there was torrential rain outside or snow, you could see it, but you wouldn't feel it. Yet you can see it through the window. And in the same way, when we talk about concentration, to concentrate for the second step in meditation, what we are doing is something extraordinary. And it means that we are withdrawing the energy of our awareness, of our consciousness inside our inner self, inside the center of our being, our inner self. So most of the time we're very much having our awareness out and we're reacting to stimulus around us. Yet when we meditate, the second step brings all our awareness in here to the central point. And in the same way, as you looked out the window of your house, that room in your house, you get a feeling, and if you can do it now as we're talking about it, you get a feeling of sitting deep inside, behind your eyes, really in the center of the forehead, but deep inside. Concentrate all your awareness inside. And you feel that you're looking out through the windows of the eyes. This is amazing because you can see everything around you, but you're centered inside. Can you do that now? You can turn your head around, look at what's around you. But as you move, you hold your awareness in that central point. So this is the second step, and it's incredibly important because meditation is an inner experience. And when we're sitting with our awareness here, we're able to fully direct our meditation experience. And again, as you've learned from the different speakers, this meditation is one with our eyes open. And so when you're sitting behind and you're concentrated here, very naturally your eyes are open and they're able to allow you to see what's happening around you, but your concentration remains here. Okay, we just spend another minute in that concentration. Just feeling you, the inner being, concentrated in the center of your forehead. And as you concentrate here, can you notice what happens? Anyone, as you really concentrate, what do you notice? I know it's not so easy for you to respond. I'm asking you a lot. Anyone notice that you feel an energy drawing up inside in the central point? Right, very good. And also you feel very detached. Exactly. Thank you for sharing that. So you feel detached in a very beautiful way, not in a cold way. You feel detached and you'll start to feel concentrated energy building up here. Because normally, as I said before, we disperse our energy in so many different ways. When we bring it into this point, it starts to accumulate and you feel power, the power that you are. And we move on. We move on from step 2 and we go to step 3. Contemplate. Contemplate. And I hope that that's got my writing, which is a bit wild, right? Contemplate. But that means that we choose a theme to contemplate, to gently turn over. And I'm sure you've got lots of beautiful themes. For our meditation, our themes are based on the true nature of the self. And I remember doing a TV program in a city some years ago, and we had a question: which is our natural nature, peace or anger? What do you think if someone asked you that? At that time, everyone we asked and interviewed on the street said anger. It was interesting. After the program, they felt completely different, but when we interviewed them on the street, they said anger. In fact, anger can become such a habit that it can feel natural and automatic. But if you regularly get angry, it puts so much. Just think about the last time you got angry. Maybe it was last year. It could have been more recent. But what happened inside your mind when you got angry? And how did that thought affect your heart, your body? Yeah? So it can never be natural. It's so, so damaging. Yet peace, when we're in a state of peace, we don't want to move away from it. Our mind, our body is in harmony. And so when we meditate and when we choose themes that are based on our natural nature of peace, of love, of happiness. And we simply re-enter them through our meditation. And so we will experiment with that and we will look at a theme. But before we do that, I'd like to walk you through the next step. And that is realization. Because once we have a theme, we choose a theme in the contemplation step, we turn it over and turn it over. And then when I realize it, that really my mind, my heart, my conscience accepts that I am this theme, I am peace, I am love, then all aspects of my being feel it. And so that's the fourth step. I fully accept the theme. In the contemplation stage, I need to create thoughts. I need to bring my mind into attention on the theme. Realization, I've accepted the theme. And finally, we would say the final step is meditation. yes, we're meditating through all the steps, but in the stage of meditation, I am totally absorbed in the experience of the theme. I'm not empty. And that's sometimes what people can think. Oh, we become empty when we meditate. No. Even the thought that I'm empty is still a thought. I'm not empty, but I'm absorbed in the experience of the theme. And so if it's okay, what I'd like to do now is to really walk us through these 5 steps. For me, because my memory is not super amazing, I make it into a little card. And I just find visually having something in these 5 steps, it's just an easy way to remind myself to move through each of the steps. And as we become more experienced, and particularly, I know you're doing the 4 a.m. meditation, which is just an ideal time to meditate, you'll find that you can move quite fast from relax into concentration and in contemplation. You'll spend longer and longer in the meditation state. And so let's go back and let's go through the first step, second, third, fourth, as a meditation on the self. And then if we have time, I'd love to do another meditation, which is broader for the world. And so let's enter step 1. And I will give you some thoughts, but I want you to learn to drive. And you're already learning driving. And that means driving your meditation. So I won't talk too much. And when I'm not talking, you can repeat the thoughts slowly for yourself. And so step 1, relax. And this is where we do the body scan, beginning at the feet. And I let you move your attention up the body, relaxing it. And then the breathing, this deep breaths that fill the lungs and the stomach completely. And then concentration. You remember in this, you bring all your awareness and you concentrate it fully in the center of your forehead, deep, deep inside, in the inner being. And as you do this, feel your power building up, concentrating. Feel the powerful being that you are. And now we move into step 3. contemplate the theme. And we take a simple yet incredibly powerful theme today. I will say it. I want you to just slowly massage it into your consciousness. I am. I am a being of peace. And if you can slowly repeat and feel, I am. I am a being of peace. And I move into the realization of this truth. I truly am a being of peace. It's my natural nature. And then meditation, when I'm just absorbed in the experience of I am a being of peace. And now if you can please just observe what happened through those 5 steps. And what's the impact of the theme on your feeling, your body, your consciousness? And thank you. I would like to invite us to have another meditation, and it's different theme, quite a different theme. excuse me, the theme I would like us to meditate on now is a theme that I find useful when I work with people, and it's connected to relationships. And so the theme is everyone in the world has their own part to play in this drama. Thank you. And thank you, Cynthia. I'm just responding to you that you're feeling peaceful, and that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Beautiful, Anita, calm, relaxed, light. Thank you. And if we're ready, and we can move on to this next theme, and it's connected to relationships and also relationship with myself. Beautiful. And so the theme is everyone in the world has their own part to play in this drama. Everyone in the world has their own part to play in this drama. And so that's the starting theme. And I'm going to add something onto that theme. As we move into it, we'll add another aspect. Just want you to notice what happens when you experiment and meditate on this theme. And so if you're ready, we'll begin once more. And you know the first step, right? Relax. So again, naturally, the body scans from the feet up. And the breathing. Deep breath, filling the lungs. And concentrate, drawing all the energy of your awareness deep, deep inside. Feel the powerful being that you are, sitting deep, deep inside the center of the forehead. Feel you, that incredibly special, powerful being, sitting deep, deep inside, looking out through the windows of the eye. And now the theme, step 3 of contemplate. So slowly turning the theme over. It's like you massage it into your mind and your heart, your conscience, all of your being. Everyone in this world has their own part to play in this world drama. So slowly repeating in your own time, everyone in this world has their own part to play in this world drama. Continue to repeat in your own time and feel it. Everyone in the world has their own part to play in this drama, including, I'd like you to add a name in here. You might like to add the name of yourself. Yes, beautiful. Come on. You may even like to challenge yourself further and add the name of, yes, beautiful, yourself. So everyone in the world has their own part to play in this drama, including me. Slowly repeat and feel. And realize and meditate, absorbed in it. And if you wish, go back to the contemplate the theme. Everyone in the world has their own part to play in this drama, including, and if you wish, if you want to try this, only if you wish, you feel comfortable, including ... And there you add someone that you find challenging, that you may have some negative thoughts about. So if you want to, everyone in the world has their own part to play in this drama, including, and just slowly repeat, feel, and you may find some resistance. Just continue to slowly, firmly repeat. And breathe. Make sure you're relaxed and continue to repeat the theme. And realize and absorbed in it. And I would love to hear what happened inside you. I'd love to hear what happened inside, what you observe now as a result of meditating on that theme. If anyone like to put in the chat box, acceptance, oh beautiful, acceptance, very light. Not any complaint, that's nice, right? That makes it very silent. Readiness and letting go. It's beautiful because letting go is freedom, isn't it? It's real freedom. Thank you. And so easiness, right? Easiness and letting go and not blaming anyone. Wow, beautiful. So you see the power of meditation. And I just feel we are so blessed to be together, and you are so wise to take this time, right? Acceptance of everyone, including yourself. Beautiful. And not judging the person. Isn't that a beautiful vibration? Because judgment means acceptance. Beautiful. Positive for the person whom I had perhaps felt negative towards in the past, right? Gosh, so just those few minutes of meditation, you are raising not only your vibration, but the global vibration. So meditation is a beautiful gift, not just for ourselves, but for the global vibration. And there's no more important time than now. Beautiful. And you're able to see it, Rajesh, as a game in a very beautiful way, divine feeling. So really thank you. And I just love the way that you feedback. That is so beautiful. And it feels very connected. So I think maybe what we'll do now, if it's okay, and I think we can all enjoy each other's feedback in the chat box, and I know that's also going to be shared later or recorded. But I like to, yes, hand back to you. Thank you, because I think, thank you.
Thanks a lot, Trish. That was amazing. Trust me, it is something. You can see the feedback is so amazing that it's so uplifting. So yeah, now we will leave the platform open for questions. We have a good amount of time before Trish, will be leaving us. So let's put your questions in the chat box, and Trish will answer them. Till the questions come.
Pardon?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, till the questions are coming. I just was thinking about this. There are many who are just started the peace thing at 4 a.m. and there are many who have just started meditation. So when they listen to you, or when they listen to other meditators, they will be thinking, I have to be practicing 35 years. So from 2021, I'm talking about till 2050, I might be only meditating. So I don't think people would have that much time. So, till the question comes, here's a question from me. What would be the easiest path to at least have this, the same way of commentary which you gave now for ourselves, so we can practice while we are in that peace moment? What is that commentary we can give to our mind when we are in that time zone, or when we are practicing the peace? Because it's over a period of time you have practiced and got this. But with the world running so fast, things are so virtual. So something you could give us a fast tip.
I had to start early because I was a slow learner. I think you will be speed learners. I think you will do it very fast. Whoever's learning now, you will learn very, very quickly. So I think that's why. So yes, I was a slow learner, I think. Fast tip, what I would say is that right now, because you are learning open-eyed meditation, if you master that, and if you're clever, then you will use moments and you'll add them together through the day. And so next time you see a red, what do you often do when you see a red traffic light? You go, oh no, a red traffic light, or you try and speed up and get through it, right? And now you see a red traffic light, you go, oh yes, because that's an opportunity to meditate. And so what I would suggest is, even if you have 1 minute, the traffic light, 1 minute waiting in the bank, 1 minute, go through the same steps. Relax, concentrate your awareness here, contemplate, and contemplate on a theme that interests you, right? It might be that you're getting signals in your life from situation that are telling you that you need a certain quality. You need more patience, you need more tolerance, you need more whatever. And so use them as themes for your meditation. Not long meditations, not a lot of words. Slowly repeat in the way that we did, whatever the qualities you want to build. So I am a being of tolerance. I am. And especially if you're stressed, you know, if you're stressed, this I am a being of tolerance. Slow thoughts and space in between. You know, so not complicated, but go through the steps every time, and then the mind will automatically move into it. And so it doesn't have to be long meditation, but use your time, use your red lights, use your traffic jams, use your boring meetings, you know, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because it's open-eyed meditation, it just means you can do it anywhere.
Right. So Trish, really, the 4 a.m. when you say, or when you think, they say the early morning hour is the golden hour, right? When you started and so far over these years, how has it really benefited you? Something which you can tell all our friends who have joined us, you know, how has it been?
The 4 a.m. because, you know, when I first started to meditate, you know, at 4 a.m. at that time, frankly speaking, I would often go out so late that I'd be going home at 4 a.m. right? That was like a big change around for me. My whole life changed. And so, you know, I didn't in the beginning, no, I didn't realize, but then I started to understand that it is, as you say, a golden hour, because people are asleep, the vibration is still. And so it's almost like the gravity to the physical, ordinary world of thought and reaction is broken, the pull. And you're able to take your awareness into a much more subtle and deeper and reflective vibrational level. So very, very naturally. Yet when people's minds are awake and buzzing, and it's like 9 a.m., 10 a.m., all through the day, you have to make more effort to break beyond that vibration, you know, of busyness and stress. It's like when the atmosphere is very heavy, you can quickly get absorbed that, can't you? If you go into an atmosphere where people are very stressed, then you can start to become stressed. And I always remember standing at the top of Tokyo Station that has 1 million people moving through it every day, and watching people go into the station quite normally, but by the time they got to the bottom, they would be moving much faster because they'd absorbed the vibration. And so in the same way, 4 a.m., it's still, so we can easily go into a very deep, powerful state. And when we experience that early in the morning, like you say, it's a cup of tea, but it's like full of vitamins. So it's like a really nutritious, powerful experience for the soul food that you can't get at any other time of the day. And you run on that. It's like you run on that through the day. And then if you stop at the traffic lights, you just keep adding to it.
Yeah. I mean, for me, one of the challenges was not a challenge. I used to be a little bit more lazy on Fridays. Friday is the weekend here. So in the Middle East,
Ah,
so I used to think Friday is a day where I can skip. But even now, I feel that if that even Friday, if I can do that, and I've been doing it consistently, I really enjoy it. I might sleep later, but at least I make sure that I enjoy that
yeah,
1.5 hour with myself. And
yeah,
then also,
beautiful.
I talk to a friend and they say, sometimes you don't need to really sit in a room. You can sit in the nature as well, but it's that connecting with the self.
Yes, yeah, and even if you find it like you might, if you feel sleepy a little bit, then just slowly
Yeah.
walking. It can also be very powerful, and even if sometimes you find that you are stressed, then to sit at that time can be challenging, but slowly walking and still going through the steps can be very powerful.
Right. That's true.
Mm.
I was just reading someone who had written that, they said that, are we trying to connect with any divine source? You know, would you elaborate on that something?
Yeah, in the first step, we are really aiming to connect with our inner self, the inner being, the soul, right, and experience the qualities of the soul. And then in higher levels of Raja Yogi, yes, we do aim to connect with the source of all good, all love, all wisdom. So in that higher stage, but we always feel like anything, it's very important to build the foundation of connecting with the self, the inner being first. And then, yes, from that, draw from the wisdom and the love and the peace of that universal being.
Yeah, that's true. It's amazing.
Especially now, because, to be peaceful is not enough, right? When you look at the vibrational frequency, the global vibrational frequency. So that means that we need to access power in order to sustain our peace. And so, yes, in the second level of meditation, we do look at connecting to that power source.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. So I was reading you have given 5 things, which is first to relax, then to concentrate, then to contemplate, create it like a story, and then to realize, and then to meditate. And when I was just thinking about, realization, if I think of the word realization, is that what, again, just I know you spoke on it, but is something realizing about what you have done in the past, or you realize that who you are right now? What do you really focus on
Yeah,
realization?
that's a good question. Thank you for that. So really, the realization of the theme, because so you're relaxing in step one, you're concentrating your awareness inside in the center of your forehead, and then in step three, you're bringing in your theme. And so you contemplate your theme. That means that you actively have to create the theme with your mind, with your thinking and thoughts around the theme. Yet in number four, in step four, you have realized it. You have accepted fully with your heart and your conscience the theme. Because we can know something with our mind, but until we realize it, the real eye sees it, then there isn't that deep level of acceptance on all levels with our heart, our head, and our conscience. So we realize that I am that theme that I'm talking about. Or the first theme was about peace. The second was that everyone is playing their own part in this drama. And when we realize that, then there is full acceptance of it. And like you could see from the feedback, as people went, wow, and they could let go. So that had come to at least the level of realization. Otherwise, they couldn't have done that if they were just thinking, everyone is playing their own part. And then meditation, again, it's just, of course, we're meditating the whole time, but meditation when we're absorbed in the experience. We don't have to create thoughts anymore. We just are that. We are that.
I have another question, Trish, which is like, when you're meditating, there's a challenging individual in your life, and that is okay. In the meditation, you can, change your thoughts towards that individual. But how do you really do that throughout the day in the practical day?
So can you just repeat that again? So
the question is
challenging.
So the question is like, it is okay to accept a challenging person in meditation.
Yes. Yes.
But in real life, it is difficult. How to do that in real life situation?
I love that question. That's such a good question. Now, the thing is, meditation is also real life. Okay. And I know when I first heard the word meditation, I was about 13 years old, and my hairdresser said she was meditating. I thought, wow, that's like something really weird where you go away and you're not there and you're, it was just as a 13-year-old, I had that image. But actually, meditation is the real world. That is, you're feeling the real you. I think the thing is, with this challenging person, we have to be honest that whatever thoughts we create are like a seed that we plant. And if we are planting a negative seed about that person, and very often it is when we have these difficult people, those seeds have a thread connected to them, and it's like they tie us. They tie us in almost like a bondage to that way of thinking about them and feeling about them. It's almost like we record a video of them and we say, this person is, and we put a negative label on them. And so whenever we think about them, that label will come into our consciousness, right? So when we meditate, we start to reverse this label. We start to cut the bondage, and we start to become free from that habit. But then through the day, we need to sustain the new way of thinking about them. And if we do that, if we're able to see them in a broader way, to see some positive aspect of them, then we will continue to cut that negative habit of seeing them in a limited way according to some limited aspect of their personality. And we'll change our mindset. But because we might have thought about them for maybe 20 years in a negative way, or at least 2 years, then we have created that impression in our memory track, right? And so it will automatically go towards the negative. So we meditate, we focus on seeing them in a more unlimited way, but we have to sustain it. Whenever we think of them, we think of their more unlimited aspect of their personality or a good point, and then we will reverse the mindset. So yeah, it takes work. It takes work, but if we truly want to be free, and we want to free them and not allow them to be a prisoner of our conscience, or really poison ourselves thinking negatively about them, then it's worth the work. It's worth the work.
Yeah. One last one again from YouTube is it normal to fall asleep while meditating? I don't want to think also of answering this.
Well, thank you. First of all, thank you for that question. I'm sure other people will bless you, because I'm sure some other people also had that thought. I think the thing is now that we are so used to so much stimulation, right? And we're so used often to multitasking and so many thoughts going through our mind. When we sit to meditate and we relax, the closest association to that is sleep, right? So one bonus is this meditation's open-eyed, but also the other aspect is that when we meditate, often we face one of two challenges. Either we feel sleepy, or our mind runs and we have many waste thoughts going in different directions. So if we feel sleepy, well, first we should check we have had enough water, we're sitting upright, or we may stand or slowly walk. And we should actively create the theme. We should keep our eyes open and actively create the theme in our mind, as well as visualizing the theme, visualizing that we're peaceful, visualizing that everyone in the world is playing their part in the drama, so that we activate our mind, we stimulate our mind if we're feeling sleepy. Yeah, so it can be a challenge because of that, you know, but we have to be aware that between sleep and stress, there is relaxed awareness. Oh, sorry, relaxed alertness. And that's a very creative, powerful state. So we're not just stress being or sleep being. Yeah. We have this capacity. So with a little bit of practice, we can definitely overcome that feeling.
Great. Thank you a lot, Trish, for your time. We had a really great session, great webinar for 1 hour now. And there are a lot of people watching even on the YouTube, and they'll still keep watching later as well, as different time zones, as we said.
Sure.
And really people will benefit a lot. So to all of my friends who are part of the 4MPs, they say keep going, stay peace. This is the style I say of peace, the 4AM.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so just keep doing it. It's not a hard journey. It's a very beautiful journey.
Really.
Yeah, and we really want to thank the It's Time team. There are a lot of people who are running behind to make this a beautiful concept for all of us, And so we would like to thank the It's Time team, to you, and to all those who are here. So good evening, ma salama, and namaste.
Thank you, masalama, and namaste.
Namaste.
Good night. Good night.
Yeah, now I can say good night to all those who were there. Do you all want to say bye? Maybe just last 1 minute, switch on your cameras.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the YouTube and the screenshots.
Wow, golly. Oh, that's a treat to see so many of you. And I wonder, can we just have 1 extra minute? I see many of you are from India also. I wonder if we can just have 1 minute silence to close for friends and family in India. Can we do that?
Yes, please.
We just send 1 minute powerful meditation from our heart. And again, so we relax, we concentrate